Hi, everyone. Welcome back to Mental Training Thursdays. I'm Dr. Rachel Walker. I'm the director of PHP. I use she, her pronouns. This week, we're continuing with our Mental Toughness Series. We're going to continue to explore and train up the processes of poise under pressure for sport and life. And this week's topic is skill number 1, which is going to be centered around our values and what you stand for. But first, we have a question from a student athlete from last week's topic on the overview. Well, that's a doozy overview of poise under pressure. So Chris, if you want to share that question with us.
Yeah, of course. So what's the point of the poise in a nutshell exercise? How does that help me stay mentally tough?
That's a great question. It really is just an overview of some of the things that can be helpful for maintaining poise under pressure and mental toughness. And if you remember back last week, we had you do an exercise and a role play. We role played with the clipboard. And the idea there is to create space with your thoughts, emotions, your mind, your body, sensations, memories, whatever's going on internally, not to get rid of them, but to create a little bit of space so they can be there. You can open up to it. You can be present in the present moment and still engage in your life and sport in a way that would be helpful. So really the poise under pressure is teaching you different skills to create that space. And we wanted to demonstrate that in the overview last week, kind of the nutshell overview of what to expect when you do train up those skills to create mental toughness, resiliency, and your adaptability in sport and life. So today we're going to dive a little bit more into the aspect of doing what matters. So I mentioned the be open, be present, do what matters. All of those things have different skills with them that can come together to help you to be more resilient, more mentally tough. And so today we're focusing on the doing what matters, even when you are experiencing some of those challenging thoughts, feelings, sensations in your body. And knowing your why and having a sense of purpose with your values is connected to motivation and just really kind of honing in on your direction. So Bob's going to take it away with the values, sharing a metaphor, and then an experiential exercise for today.
Well, thanks so much, Rachel. And thanks to your super fans who are watching right now. And I think you'll bring it back to that student athlete's question, what's the point? If we go back to the metaphor, so this is my stuff, the internal noise. If I don't even see it, it's really hard to be mentally tough because I'm not even in the moment. If I'm fighting it, I'm just caught up in that internal battle as opposed to the battle that's around me in my sport of my life and how I want to be. And our move over the next few weeks is really how can we place this down really by our side in a way where you can say, all right, anxiety, fear, doubt, worry, anger, shame, I got stuff to do. You can come along with me, but there's things that I really want to accomplish. And so I think that's where we want to start today. It's what really fuels us? What's our mission? So that no matter what that internal noise might be, there's a bigger, better offer because we're moving towards that compass of what we want to stand for in our life and in our sport. And sometimes I'll use the metaphor, two metaphors. It's either, our values are like a GPS system. So, the road we're on, for those of you student athletes out there, you're checking the boxes each week, those mile markers of the goals, the new PRs you're having in training, or maybe a new skill you're learning. But all along the way, it's really about how you're showing up in your practice, in training, in competition, as a teammate. And so this GPS system allows us to reset even when, there's all these kind of signs around us, stop, detour, do I go green light, yellow light, red light, gosh, I'm hearing all this noise in the background that's saying pull off to the side of the road, then it really helps us to kind of show up. So in that spirit, in the fall, we did a little bit of exercise with Dr. Mac Brown around the values compass. We're going to do something a little bit different today called hero, hurdle, and highlight. Some of you may have done this before. It's kind of self-explanatory, but we're really going to reflect and use some imagery to connect with, personal hero, a hurdle you've overcome, and a personal highlight. And a lot of times when we really sink into these meaningful moments, those values and what matters most to us, what we want to stand and fight for, really come out. And so I'll invite you all, who are out there doing this exercise, if you want something to write with, or just be ready to jot something down on your phone or computer, just know you can pause it when you need to. It's helpful for me to close my eyes for these types of activities. So if that works for you, you can go ahead and do that right now. And in the spirit of kind of creating space from internal distraction and noise, just settling into what other anchor really works for you. It could be taking just one deep breath, sitting back if you're in a chair, maybe letting go of any tension you may have. We can hold a lot around, the eyes, the jaw, the shoulders. Just dropping that away. And just really being here now. And know that this is enough. And at any point in this exercise, if you need it, coming back to an anchor, coming back to your breath, coming back to the sensations of your body sitting, maybe even sounds in your environment, whatever you need. So start this exercise bringing to mind someone you've looked up to. Someone for you, whether you've known personally or not. Could be someone who was alive even before your time. Just allowing yourself to see them in your mind's eye. Really even noting in your body, what's it like to be in their presence right now? Maybe reliving some moments where they stood tall, faced challenges, and just what drew you to how they lived their life or are living their life. What do they mean to you? And if there are a few words or phrases that embody their greatness, you can hold them in your mind's eye, or you could pause and just kind of jot them down right now. But how they showed up in their life, how you're drawn to them, just dropping them into your own compass right now. This is the path that is important for me, that fuels me, that motivates me. And if you want to take more time with your personal hero, please do. Feel free to pause at any moment. And for those of you who are ready, bringing to mind now a hurdle that you've overcome, challenge in your life, maybe something that's a 3 to 5 out of 10. Now you're the hero of your own life. I'm just getting clear right now on that challenge you face. Noticing any thoughts, emotions, any of that internal noise that it brings up for you. And even with those thoughts and feelings, just imagine, see yourself and how you acted to overcome this hurdle with strengths, supports, sacrifices, powerful moves you made. What are you most proud of? Since you are the hero of your own story, what are those words and phrases that embody your greatness from this moment? Where do you feel that greatness in your body? Again, pausing the video if you want to jot down the words, the phrases, or images that matter to you from overcoming this challenge. And lastly, we're going to turn to a highlight. You at your best. And you don't have to search too far in the past. It could be a nice challenge to even look at something recent, even from the past week. See if you can bring all 5 senses with you as you relive this highlight. Who was there? What it looked like? And what did it take for you to make this moment happen? What were you fighting for, even with the feelings that came with that moment? If you need to, just to take a pause, write down a few words or phrases that embody you at your best. Again, adding more and more to your GPS, to your compass. Before we close this activity, just allowing yourself, bring a little gratitude with you. Training the mind is something that is a pretty courageous act, pretty brave act. So just leaning into this experience and know that you can bring your compass with you wherever you go. Whenever it feels right for you, you can transition out of this activity. And if you need to pause for more time, go for it. But we're going to jump back into our conversation.
Thanks so much, Bob. I love that activity. It's so powerful. I think it incorporates imagery, which is helpful for our athletes who are watching this video and anyone who want to use the power of imagery to kind of create that sense of gratitude and some of the things that you highlighted. I think it also incorporates that idea of taking a pause and really reflecting and being more present moment aware. And then the specific exercise itself and how you walked us through it and highlighting the different values from each of those 3 hero hurdle highlight. So helpful to orient yourselves with those values, especially in challenging moments. And so with that, we're going to close out for today. I think we would love for you to join us next week as an extension of this as we move into skill number 2 for poise under pressure, which will be presence. Not the kind that you get on your birthday, but the kind of having a presence and the gift maybe of the present moment, and how that can translate into your life in sport and life in general. If you have any questions about this week's topic or on the exercise that Bob just ran us through, please email Bob at robert.deal@colorado.edu. Each week we'll spend a few minutes answering any questions that you may have from the previous training Thursday. And with that, we'll close out with the words of Yogi Berra. If you don't know where you're going, you'll end up someplace else. Thanks for joining us this week. Hope to see you next week.